It's Beth with a little bit of Beth. And this week it's part 2 in the 4-part series about the definition of authentic leadership. As we talked about last week, the first part of the definition is speaking your truth. And you can go back to last week's Bit of Beth and listen in if you didn't hear that. Today I'm going to talk about the second part of the definition, which is with empathy and compassion. So the whole definition in its full form, and this is according to me, and this is the definition that we work with both in the Navigating Challenging Dialogue Skills Training and in the Navigating Challenging Dialogue Leadership Certification. Speaking your truth with empathy and compassion, self-awareness, and a focus on the good of the whole. So last week we talked about speaking your truth, and this week we're going to talk about what does it mean with empathy and compassion. You know, frequently when I talk to people about empathy and compassion, what they tell me is they're very empathetic towards others, and they're very compassionate towards others. And I believe that. And I believe that I am also. But the place where I struggle is to have empathy and compassion towards myself. So empathy is the ability to stand by someone as they experience what they're experiencing. Self-empathy, and the really important part of leadership, is to be able to stand by myself non-judgmentally while I'm experiencing whatever it is I'm experiencing. Many of you have heard me talk about my belief around joy and abundance. What I believe is the definition of joy and abundance is it's not something we're striving to achieve, trying to get to. If I do enough yoga, if I journal enough, if I say enough positive affirmations, if I work enough, if I save enough, then I will get to joy and abundance. It's not that. For me, joy and abundance is right here. It exists. It's present all the time. It's within me. And being able to achieve a state of joy and abundance is to be able to feel everything that happens. The sadness, the grief, the loss, the disappointment, the excitement, the joy, the happiness, all the feels, the love, the loss, the dark and the light side of every emotion. And then to know how to bring myself back to center. To fully feel it, but then to come back to center. And part of that is to be able to have empathy for myself, to be able to stand with myself as I go through all the emotions and feelings in life and to understand them. Next week, we're going to talk about self-awareness. And that plays into this. But what's underneath empathy for me, self-empathy, is also the ability to accept and express when I'm feeling vulnerable, when I'm feeling uncertain, unsure, and to be able to lean into the strengths and the support of others and to trust myself to know when I need to ask for that. Now, compassion for me is something that sometimes I can be very compassionate to others. But what I notice is often there can be a tinge of they should attached to my compassion. It's almost like sometimes for me, compassion can also go a little bit towards I feel sorry for them. And so as I think about self-leadership and developing myself as a leader, I really need to do some thinking about where are the places for myself that I feel sorry for myself. that I feel like there shoulds that I should be doing, or I should know more, or I should be better. And this is some of the places where the imposter syndrome comes into play. What if they find out that I don't know? What if they find out that I'm not as smart as some people think I am? And so having compassion for myself is very important because it provides a window into the places where I could have a little more empathy. I could just be present in that. I could speak my truth about what I'm not comfortable with, what I'm afraid I don't know, what I need to learn, what strengths would be helpful for someone else to bring to the table. And so I encourage you to be thinking during the course of this week around how you express empathy for yourself, how you feel empathy for yourself, and where you want to give yourself a little more compassion, but also use it as a place to pay attention to where you get hooked in the I should or imposter syndrome. The biggest value of empathy and compassion in your leadership role, be it self-leadership, be it work-based leadership, be it being a leader in your family, whatever the case is, relationship, there's times when you need to lead and there's times when you need to follow. But the value of knowing all this is it gives more places to build authentic connection with others, to feel less isolated, to provide more opportunity for other people to step into leadership and for you to get support. And when we come together and when we get support from others, instead of feeling like we need to always be leading them, we need to be the expert, when we get that support, we're empowering ourselves and we're empowering others. And the field, like I talked about last week, the field of potentiality and opportunity gets so much wider. There's so many more ideas that come out. There's so many more opportunities. We are so much stronger together than when we're trying to lead alone. Leadership frequently turns out to be a lonely journey, very isolating, and it doesn't need to be. It can be a very powerful, connected opportunity where you are providing opportunity for growth and development and all the kinds of things that we as humans need. So I want you to spend some time this week just thinking, where can I have more empathy and compassion for myself that will create more connection, more opportunity, and more empowerment for others in my life? If you enjoyed this, if it was helpful to you, or if you know somebody else who could benefit or might be interested, go ahead and hit like, hit share, do all of those things. And next week, we're going to be in part 3, and we're going to talk about self-awareness. That's one of my favorite topics. All right, until next time, this is Beth with your little bit